Okay, welcome to another edition of Cultural Awareness Podcast. Man, the only podcast that allow you to travel without leaving the country. You know what I mean? You travel without passport. You are welcome, by the way. This is your host, Big Steph. So, if you are from Africa, you should know by now that we have something called juju, right? And that juju is what Americans or anyone that is not from Africa will say witchcraft, right? All countries have some form of witchcraft. Whether you're in the U.S., I believe in the U.S. is in areas like New Orleans. I see that a lot where like they were like the mixture of those slave and like country like Jamaica, the Barbados, and things like that. So we do know that it exists, right? People can literally touching you without having to be there. And why am I saying that? I'm not saying it to scare you. I'm saying it because I'm trying to get into the story of the day, right? And the story of the day is very particular. It's not something about sex. It's not something about somebody breaking somebody's heart. It's something about protection, right? How do you protect your stuff? If you are the owner of something, if you spend your whole life building an empire, kind of like imagine you build something like Apple and somebody is trying to come and take it away from you. What will you do for that? To what degree of power, to what degree of payback are you willing to go to protect what is yours, right? I know that there are some people out there that if you just talk about their mom, they feel disrespected. I'm one of those, right? That there are people that are willing to go to a great length just to prove a point, to be respected, right? That being said, the story of today goes as follows. This is a man in a village, right? And obviously for those of you guys that have listened Cultural Awareness Podcast, we talk a lot about things that happen in the countryside, the village, culture that are different obviously from the US. Like in my culture, in my tribe at least, we are known. We are known that if you see somebody that is planting his craft, like his crop, let's say corn, sugar cane, what else is there? All those crop and potatoes, you know what I mean, ham, cassava, and they always look nice because they make sure that they take good care of it. If you see their stuff and you go ahead and touch it without permission, I said touch it, and you break it and you eat it, on the spot, I say on the spot, you become epileptic, like on the spot. It's not to scare anybody. My tribe is renowned for that. That is my tribe. Now let's go in a different tribe. So this is a story of the man that went ahead and he grew his crop because he is a farmer. He farms and he grows plantain, papaya, and he take it from the village and go sell it to the city, kind of like someone that is planting coffee or cocoa and things like that, right? But in this case, he is a farmer. He does a lot of agricultural stuff, and recently he has been realizing a lot of things happening in his plantation where people are coming and cutting his crop and go with it. The problem is they don't steal a little bit. They steal a lot to where it's impacting his business, his money, his pocketbook. You know what I mean? And he's not about to let it happen. So what did he do? He went to the village, consulted with the chief of the village and said, Chief, look, people can steal stuff a little bit, but when you start stealing a lot of my stuff to a point where it's impacting my business, I know you are no longer stealing because you are hungry. You are stealing my stuff to sell, and I cannot let that happen. So you need to call the village member and let them know that I don't want them to keep doing this, because if they keep doing it, I'm going to take some drastic measure. The chief said he heard it, and sure enough, the chief gave a convocation to the village where he talked to the village member and like, hey, we all know that, let's say Paul, we all know that Paul is like a big farmer in the village, right? And a lot of you guys have been going there to steal. If you were just going there to take one thing to eat, he wouldn't have mind. But the problem is you guys are turning his business into your business to a point where you steal his stuff to go make money out of it. That is no longer because you are hungry, you are just a thief. So for that reason, I'm here to let you guys know that if that keep going on, he's going to take some drastic measure. The village say, oh yeah, it's probably the kid, we heard it, we will go ahead and let them know to not do that anymore. Sure enough, it calmed down for a little bit, and then it came right back, right? A lot of people still take, and they even decided to take more this time, right? They even decided to take more this time. The man got pissed, and he went and saw the chief of the village again, and he said, look, chief, I'm talking about Paul here. He said, look, chief, this time there's no excuses. I have gave my warning shot, kind of like when you have a gun, you give the warning shot in the air. So now I'm really about to go crazy. I'm going to put something on my plantation. You better let them know. Whoever goes in my plantation again is going to catch something they don't want. The chief said, hey man, I understand. I'm not happy about what is happening to you, but hey, you got to do what you got to do. Then hey, go ahead and do it. I'm sad that it's coming to that outcome, but we all know what it can do. So he went ahead and he put some this is where the African side comes in, right? He went ahead and he put some witchcraft in his crops, right? And sure enough, it didn't take that long, right? Two young kids in the village came, and they went ahead and broke into his plantation again and started cutting stuff. And sure enough, guess what happened? They became right on the spot. As soon as they got out of the plantation, they started taking their clothes off. They became schizophrenic right out on the spot. Well, one of them became like so crazy, like, it got pretty bad. The parents started crying and everything. They are like, what happened to our children? What happened to our children? So the parent then decided that they are going to go sue him because in the constitution of the country, or practicing witchcraft is forbidden, right? So they decide that they are going to go sue because he had practiced witchcraft on his crop. So the man is asking this question, right? He said, what is the difference between me that puts my witchcraft in my crop so that nobody can steal it, with somebody building a gate around their plantation so that people don't jump in and steal his stuff? What is really the difference? I don't have money to build a gate because the plantation is so massive to a point where it's acres and acres. I'm not going to build a gate around acres and acres. And even by building the gate, I'm still not guaranteed that these people will not jump, break whatever they have to break, throw it on the other side, and get back out and still take my stuff. So I have given my warning shot. I saw the chief, and then I took the matter in my own hand. My question to you is, what will you do when this happened to you? Or do you agree with what my man did? He put some magical power in there, and all those people that got there and start stealing stuff just became straight up schizophrenic, and other people are having epileptic seizures and things like that. People are laughing alone, they don't know. So it's so powerful to a point where they are asking him if he can reverse it. And they went ahead and sued him. He said, since you guys decide to sue me, even if I go to jail, those kids are not coming back. And whoever goes even in my plantation while I'm in jail, they're still going to get even worse than what those kids got. So the village is like, he said, I gave you guys warning. You guys didn't want to listen. Maybe now you guys are going to pay attention to what I'm saying. You guys are messing up my money. So what is it that he did wrong? I personally, I'm not a big believer in witchcraft, but I understand the man. Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do, and there's no better way. You can say, oh, find other way. What way? The best way to do things is communication. When you don't go ahead and do communication and ask for forgiveness, then people are going to go ahead and take the matters in their own hand. Like, let me put it this way. I cannot take a stone, right? I cannot take a stone and throw it at somebody with one force and expect them to throw it back to me with the same force that I thrown mine. What they will do is, it's called the power of dissuasion. They will make sure that I never, ever, ever have to throw a stone at them again. So when they take that stone and try to put it back at me, they're going to put it with every single effort that they have. So don't go out there finding shit and expecting for other people to behave in a normal way. Like I know us African, like a lot of African are calm and things like that, but when it comes to that witchcraft stuff, they don't play around. They will go ahead if you try them and he say you will see and leave. You better go ahead and start asking for forgiveness to that man, because that night he's coming back in your dream and he's gonna do things to you in your dream that you will never forget. And people say, oh, we don't know that. Trust me, I'm African. There are a lot of people that do that. So like just going along the same way, there's another man that he put his in the village, like that's still in the village, and he put a broom there and like a machete out there, and whenever you came and touched his stuff in his crop, for some reason you just pick up the machete and start cleaning his entire crop field. Do you know how much work that is? You start killing, like some people have worked on it, like some people that it got went ahead, started cleaning the entire crop field to a point where they pass out on the field with the sun, and they don't do it on purpose. They don't want to clean it. It's just that the magic or the witchcraft that those people have put on their crop make you clean without wanting to. You see what I mean? It's like hypnosis. It's like you are not you. You just start cleaning for no reason. You don't know why you are cleaning. You just know that you gotta clean. You keep cleaning and cleaning and cleaning and cleaning and cleaning until that man come back in his crop and say stop for you to stop, right? Because he uses another witchcraft to make you stop. So you guys got to be careful when you guys are going out there and either provoking people or either trying to touch people's stuff, because there are some people that are not going to be so merciful. That is cultural awareness for you, you know, like I'm saying, because how many times have you tried somebody, he say, oh, I'm from this place, I'm from that place, and you don't know where the other person is from. Just be careful. Just because somebody is quiet when you're provoking them doesn't mean that they are not trying to do things to you in other way. Like they might not respond to you physically because obviously you maybe have more power than them, but they might respond to you mystically, meaning whenever nobody is seeing. And the power of the night, power of the night are sometimes not sometimes, they are most of the time very powerful. Why? Because there's two of you. There's the you, the physical world, and the you in the spirit world. And the best way to attack you is in the spirit world, because then the body is just a clay. You know what I mean? I don't want to get into too much detail. I'm just saying, be careful who you are attacking out there. And let me know about what you think about the story of the day, man. Because when I heard this story, I didn't know exactly what to respond, because the man went hammer, man. Paul just went straight crazy on these people. He was like, man, you're going to learn today. You know what I mean? I remember, you're going to learn today. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, if this is the first time for you following Cultural Awareness Podcast, you guys know that I like to give free commercial to people. Like if you have your store or something you want us to promote, go ahead and give it in a shout out. I will go ahead and shout it out for all those people that are subscribing, and they will maybe go ahead and give you business. Like for example, there's this young lady that has a business store called Hadiglam on Spotify. So go ahead and on Shopify, not Spotify. Sorry for the confusion. It's on Shopify, right? Hadiglam.com, right? Hadi is Hady, glam, like glam, GLAM. Go ahead and check out that store. They sell nice accessory, nice clothing for female and things like that. Go ahead and check it out, man. That being said, thank you for listening to Cultural Awareness, and God bless. Peace.